Hi everyone, welcome to the Spire Sessions, an online series where we talk about interesting developments, trends and opportunities in hot industry. This is our special food series. I'm Marie and today our guest is Mr. K.F. Seetoh. Mr. K.F. Seetoh is a food consultant, founder of food court Makansutra and street food expert. He is also very passionate in giving a voice to and helping hawkers in Singapore, especially during the pandemic. Singapore's rich and vibrant hawker culture joined the UNESCO representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2020. My first question to Mr. Seetoh is about the award and about this hawker culture of ours.
In 2018, I was invited to go on a focus group talk with the National Heritage Board about, identifying the next UNESCO culture that we could receive some award for. And I brought up hawker culture, which was a very gray, which were very gray words. Hawker culture. What is hawker culture? It's not about chicken rice or char kway teow or nasi lemak. So we delved into the criteria, and I said, hawker culture is part of our skin. It's who we are. It's our daily life. A few million hawker food meals are served every day. I kid you not, these are facts. 1 million meals alone is served in the public hawker centers. If you include all the other private coffee shops and all that, that number can come up to 3 million hawker meals served a day. So that's quite overwhelming. And people's affinity for it, when people travel, they come back, they miss their food. Food reminds them of their parents, their lifestyle. The government is into it. The industry supplies heavily. There's a big industry about it, supplying to the industry, and the hawkers, they thrive on it. In together they lend a certain brand and culture to it, and that's what we got the award for. So after I suggested it, I think PM made the announcement 4 months later, and on my birthday last last year in December, they gave me the award. That's a sign that, gosh, that I must be doing more.
I asked Mr. Seetoh where the hawker culture is right now and how it is moving forward. Here is what he has to say.
So you ask, how is this culture moving along? As it is, because of COVID, it's quite bleak. As you noted, I made some noise about how governance behind hawker culture is. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, especially when hawker stalls are really operated by individuals who come out and embark on this micro level of entrepreneurship. A lot of them have done pretty well. They support themselves, they support their families. Some have even done very, very well. There are lots of one dish entrepreneurs that have gone on to support 2, 3, even 3 generations of family members, houses, cars, send them to education, overseas education, etc., etc.
Yeah.
We are talking about success in the business. Yes, there's a lot of opportunities. I've always advocated that we must have a hawker academy institution where you train not just people to cook food and run a hawker stall and try to balance your everyday hawker stall books. I think it should be an academy, an institution where they distill 360 information about the world of hawker street food. Can you do, besides opening a stall in an NEA run hawker center? How can I conquer the world with one dish, like McDonald's? Like, for lack of a better reference, KFC or even a pizza. How do they take it to the world with just one thinking, one idea? How do they become a monster of a company? Those things I feel we should distill, share with a new generation of potential hawkers that can come in and says, I can shine beyond these shores. How do I say bring maybe nasi lemak or even kaya? Kaya is is one of the first few that went around the world. How do I bring that around the world? How do I open a world-class chain of chicken rice and reinvent its culture, reinvent its packaging, reinvent the story, tell it the way the world wants to hear it, and create the food. How do you do that? Maybe in 5, 10 years time, you will not see you rightly put it, you will not see a lot of dishes because people are talking about my grandmother's food and all that. In 5, 10 years time, the grandmothers of then will be quite young, Gen X people, they wouldn't have seen a lot, heard a lot, tasted a lot. They wouldn't have had the connection with their grandmothers of the 60s and post-war generation. There's a disconnect. So a lot of people I suspect we'll be seeing a lot of the same old stuff. I can predict down the road you won't see young hawkers coming up to do cai fan, zap cai peng.
Right.
A lot of work to whip up 30, 40 dishes come lunchtime for people to point. People struggle to cook 1 or 2 items. People whip them up, with consistent flair and technique every day. Nobody teaches you to do that. If the Malaysians don't come and run a stall on behalf of some of the chains, or if these things don't come out of a central factory, you will see less and less of that. There's a host of other stuff that will not be available, I suspect, in 10 years' time.
I also asked Mr. Seetoh about the state of entrepreneurship in our food scene.
And come on, our food here is world class. If you travel enough, we have enough of a product and story to take on the world. So the entrepreneurial blood behind street food culture is very weak. It's not flowing as fast.
Since the pandemic hit last year, we saw the closing of many eateries, including some well-known favorites and even highbrow Michelin-starred restaurants. Mr. Seetoh talked about these awards as well as measures that could help these hawkers.
I think they removed one of the Michelin star hawkers and all that. They put a whole list. Whatever Michelin or whatever Michelin rates, especially in this COVID era, is quite quite fruitless. I mean, who wants an award during COVID? And Michelin, as you know, targets tourists. It's well known. You look at all the people that go to all the Michelin, they are the tourists. Good. And I believe it's supported by the tourism boards in some manner. But I feel in these times, in fact, in all times, the awards should really be encouraging the industry. I mean, if you tell people, tell Singaporeans what is good, Singaporeans don't need Michelin to tell them what's good. They know, everybody is a food guide, And I feel as a big institution like Michelin, in times like this, they should roll up their sleeves and help the eateries that they rank and rate. They should help the industry that props them up. If there are no restaurants, there will be no Michelin. If there are no hawkers, there will be no Michelin. So they should do their bit to support in some way, address some form of continuity or inspire. But I mean, who wants an award right now? People need business. People need help me get up on my feet, So that was a comment I made some time ago about this. Even post-COVID times, you may like to address, the guide may want to help bring more tourists in, but again, I addressed earlier that we need to look at the problems of sustainability. If guides like this or any other international awards can sit down and put their head together, and somebody put a question to them, you come and rate, what are you doing to help sustain this culture? Some of the top restaurant awards are now ranking hawkers. So what are you
Yes.
doing to address continuity and sustainability? You know, one of the richest F&B entrepreneur in Singapore, who's already a Singaporean, is bought like a $50 million house here. It's your Hai Di Lao.
Yeah.
The guy he's ranked way up there. He just does steamboat, you know. He's got hundreds and hundreds of outlets around the world. Do you think the guy is a scholar? No, the guy is just a sharp, street smart entrepreneur. Something no amount of studying can help you achieve. So sometimes education must must take on reality. You got to have your foot on the ground.
Finally, what can we expect from our hawker culture in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think the menu will shrink because people understand less of their culture. They will only cook what's trending on the internet, what they can find on YouTube. But if you find an old dish that you want to revive, that your grandmother from the boomer generation cooked or something like this, you will have a problem because the new generation don't know what on earth that is. They may not cook. So anybody wishing to be a hawker will want to cook naturally things that people will buy and eat. It's about commerce and survivability. But today, no. So if you ask me, how will it be in 10 years? There hawker centers will still be there. You can still have hawker food, but it won't be as dynamic. Some other countries may take over this crown. It's also because of the culture, the people here, the more, this culture of affluence, people are educated, they have more money. The thinking will change because the golden era of street food culture back in the day came when people were desperate. No? They had no choice. They had to be innovative. They had to come up with stuff. Today, no, you don't really see people trying to push the boundaries. They're just sticking to what's safe.
Thank you for joining us on this special food series. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. You can also find the audio version of this interview in the links in the description below.